Are you still holding on to things that quietly drain your energy or weigh you down? You're not alone. Many women over 55 hang on to clutter, not because they need it, but out of guilt, habit, or fear. But here's the truth. High-value women don't just clean, they curate. They choose what supports the life they want now, and they release what no longer reflects their worth, identity, or peace of mind. If you're ready to make space for confidence, clarity, and calm, you're in the right place. Before we continue, don't just watch. Let's build a beautiful, strong, and smart community here together. Kindly tap the subscribe button on your screen, because this is your season to rise, reset, and reclaim your space. Welcome to Ever Smart Seniors, the channel created for strong, graceful, and self-aware women aged 55 and beyond. Here, we believe this chapter of life isn't about slowing down, it's about leveling up. Maybe you've spent years taking care of others, managing homes, careers, or even reinventing yourself after retirement or loss. But now, it's your turn to simplify your space, protect your energy, and design a life that feels deeply aligned with who you are today, not who you were 20 years ago. This is your sacred space to rediscover elegance in the everyday, to clear out what no longer serves you, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and to reclaim your confidence, your calm, and your joy. Whether you're looking to declutter your home, streamline your wardrobe, or simply make room for more peace and presence in your life, you're in the right place. So settle in, take a breath. You deserve a beautiful, intentional life, and we're here to help you create it, one smart decision at a time. Today, we're diving into 5 specific things that confident, high-value women over 55 let go of, not with guilt, but with grace. These aren't just physical items, they're hidden forms of clutter that steal your time, energy, and peace without you even realizing it. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll reveal one sneaky habit that silently drains more women than they know. Not just in their homes, but in their hearts and minds. Once you spot it, you won't carry it another day. Let's begin. Tip number 1, worn out just in case clothes. Let's start in the place most women are hesitant to confront, the closet. If you're over 55, chances are you have clothes hanging that haven't seen the light of day in years. Maybe it's that faded cardigan you used to love, the slacks you swear you'll fit into again, or the emergency outfit you keep just in case something comes up. Here's the truth. High-value women don't keep clothing out of guilt, fear, or nostalgia. They choose to surround themselves with items that reflect who they are now, not who they were 20 years ago, or who they're hoping to become someday. The just-in-case pile is usually fear in disguise. Fear of waste, fear of not having enough, fear of change. But holding on to worn-out, ill-fitting, outdated clothes isn't saving you. It's silently anchoring you to a past that no longer fits, literally and emotionally. Ask yourself the simple but powerful question. Does this match the woman I am now and who I'm becoming? Because the woman you are today deserves softness. She deserves structure. She deserves color and cut and texture that make her feel seen, worthy, and whole, not like she's settling. Holding on to worn-out clothes because they still fit is like holding on to a relationship just because he doesn't hit me. Functionality alone isn't a good enough reason to keep anything in your life. Value, alignment, joy. These are the standards we use now. High-value women curate their closets the way they curate their peace. Intentionally, thoughtfully, without guilt. It's not about quantity. It's about quality and clarity. When you open your wardrobe in the morning, you should feel inspired, not overwhelmed. You should see clothes that make you feel like you, not like a version of yourself you've outgrown or are trying to shrink into. Even if you're not ready to do a full closet overhaul, start by letting go of just one piece that no longer feels like you. That dress you haven't worn in 5 years. The blouse with the button that's been missing since 2010. It's time. Thank it. Bless it. Release it. You are not a museum of your past. You are a living, breathing, evolving woman, and your wardrobe should rise to meet that truth. If your closet is still full but you constantly feel like you have nothing to wear, it's not about what's missing. It's about what's in the way. And once you clear that out, you'll be amazed at how light, clear, and confident you feel. So let's make it personal. What's one item in your closet that no longer represents who you are, but you've been holding on to anyway? I'd love for you to drop it in the comments. Sharing your answer might inspire someone else to let go too. Tip number 2. Guilt gifts and inherited clutter. Let's talk about the things we didn't choose, but somehow ended up responsible for. You know the ones. The crystal bowl from a relative that doesn't match anything in your home. The gifted artwork you never liked, but felt too guilty to get rid of. The inherited furniture that takes up space, but not joy. These objects come wrapped not just in paper or memory, but in emotional pressure. They say you should keep this. It meant something to someone. But here's the truth. You are not a storage unit for other people's sentimentality. Just because something was given to you with love, tradition, or obligation doesn't mean you're bound to carry it forever. High-value women over 55 understand that keeping an object out of guilt creates energetic clutter. And that clutter speaks louder than we think. It whispers, you don't have the right to choose what surrounds you. You must accommodate others first. But not anymore. You can honor the person without keeping the object. You can hold the memory, the love, the meaning, and still let the item go. Let's say it clearly. Releasing an unwanted gift is not a betrayal. Donating your grandmother's vase does not erase her importance in your life. Letting go is an act of self-trust and self-respect. You deserve to live in a space that reflects your taste, your season, and your energy, not the stories of others. Here's a gentle practice you can try. Before letting go of the item, hold it in your hands. Take a breath. Acknowledge the giver. Speak gratitude. Then say, thank you, but I release you now. That small act of mindfulness transforms the moment from guilt to grace. And if the guilt still lingers, remember, someone else might truly love and use that item in a way you never could. Donating it is not throwing it away. It's sending it forward. Decluttering inherited or gifted items is one of the most emotionally powerful steps you can take in reclaiming your space. Because it's not just about the object, it's about saying, I choose how I live. I decide what comes with me into this next season of life. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to make room for joy, lightness, and authenticity. Now let's talk. Is there something in your home you've kept only out of guilt? Maybe a gift, a hand-me-down, or a family heirloom you never truly wanted. Share it in the comments. Your honesty might be the encouragement someone else needs today. Tip number 3. Expired beauty products and self-doubt. Now let's step into a place that often hides behind closed drawers. The bathroom cabinet or vanity shelf, where so many dreams of youth, beauty, and self-worth quietly sit, collecting dust. Take a moment to think about it. How many old lipsticks, cracked compacts, dried up mascaras, or wrinkle creams from years ago are still sitting there untouched, but not discarded? You might say it was expensive, or maybe I'll use it again, or even I just don't want to waste it. But here's the hard truth. They're not just expired. They represent a version of you that you've already outgrown. Keeping expired beauty products is like clinging to a belief that you have to fight against age. That who you were in your 30s or 40s is more beautiful, more valid, more worthy than who you are now. But that's simply not true. High-value women over 55 don't hide from aging. They redefine it. They release outdated narratives and expired products the same way they release expired thinking. When you hold onto an old anti-wrinkle serum from 10 years ago, you're not just keeping a product. You're keeping a silent message that says, I'm not enough as I am. I need to erase something. I used to be better. But your face tells a story. Your skin carries years of laughter, resilience, and wisdom. You don't need to erase that. You need to celebrate it. Instead of keeping products that once promised miracles, choose skincare that supports you today. Nourishing, gentle, clean, intentional. Products that don't promise to fix you, but instead honor the richness of your age. And makeup? It's not about covering flaws. It's about expressing your radiance. Your lipstick isn't there to hide. It's there to say, I'm still here and I still matter. Letting go of expired products is more than a cleaning task. It's a powerful ritual of self-respect. Open that drawer or cabinet. Hold each item and ask yourself, is this serving me today, or silently shaming me for who I used to be? And remember, expiration dates aren't just about safety, they're about seasons. If something belonged to a season of insecurity, uncertainty, or self-judgment, it's time to part ways. Replace it with products that feel light, clean, and kind. The way you care for your skin should reflect how you care for your soul, with gentleness, not punishment. Let's normalize releasing what no longer fits, including the belief that you need to look younger to be beautiful. Now I'd love to hear from you. Is there a product you've held onto for far too long? Not because it works, but because of what it used to represent? Drop it in the comments below. This is a safe, shame-free space to let go and move forward together. Tip number 4, negative self-talk journals or notes. Some clutter doesn't sit on shelves. It hides between pages. If you've ever kept an old journal, notebook, or a stack of letters you wrote during your hardest seasons, you know what I mean. Maybe they're tucked away in a drawer, sealed in a box, or saved in a digital folder. Fragments of a version of you that once felt lost, angry, invisible, or afraid. There's a certain comfort in knowing those pieces exist. Proof of survival. A record of the battles you fought quietly behind closed doors. And while there's value in honoring where we've been, there's also a line we have to draw. A line between reflection and reliving. Here's the truth. High-value women know when to release emotional clutter, not because it didn't matter, but because it no longer serves them. That journal full of self-doubt from a time you were drowning in insecurity, it doesn't deserve to echo in your energy anymore. That letter you wrote after heartbreak, betrayal, or loss, it was healing to write, but it doesn't need to follow you into the next chapter. You don't have to keep holding the weight of your past just to prove you carried it. Yes, those pages helped you process. Yes, those thoughts once felt real. But read them now and ask, do I still see myself in this story? Because if the answer is no, it's time to let it go. You are not the woman who wrote those words anymore. And you don't need reminders of your lowest moments to appreciate your growth. Your peace doesn't need to be earned by revisiting your pain. Now, this doesn't mean you can't keep some reflections, especially those that show your wisdom, your strength, your journey. But choose with care. Keep what uplifts you. What reveals lessons? What reflects truth, not trauma? Everything else? Release it with love. Burn it, shred it, delete it, not with bitterness, but with blessing. Thank you for helping me heal. I release you now. Growth requires space, not just physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. If your inner world is still echoing with old wounds written in your own hand, ask yourself, why am I still choosing to relive this pain? What would it feel like to be free of it? Releasing emotional clutter is one of the most courageous acts a woman over 55 can do. Because it says, I choose peace over proof, wholeness over history. So let me ask you, have you ever read back something you wrote during a hard time and felt it no longer reflects who you are today? If so, tell me in the comments. You don't need to share the details, just knowing you've outgrown that version of you is more than enough. And that realization alone can help another woman begin her own release. Tip number 5, relationships that drain you. Not all clutter lives on shelves or in drawers. Some of it answers when you pick up the phone. Sometimes the heaviest clutter isn't in your closet, it's in your contact list. A friendship that drains you more than it fills you. A family member who only reaches out when they need something. A long-standing connection that once made sense, but now leaves you tired, anxious, or small. For women over 55, one of the hardest, but most powerful forms of decluttering is this: releasing relationships that no longer align with your peace, values, or self-worth. It's not about cutting people off impulsively or with resentment. It's about consciously choosing your energy. High-value women know their time and presence are sacred, and they no longer give it away out of obligation, guilt, or fear of being judged. You've spent a lifetime being available for everyone, for everything. And while that generosity is beautiful, there comes a point when it becomes self-abandonment. Ask yourself, who drains me? Who leaves me feeling confused, unworthy, or unheard after every interaction? And more importantly, why am I still making space for that in my life? Sometimes we keep people close because of history, not harmony. But just because someone's been in your life for decades doesn't mean they're meant to stay in every chapter. Emotional clutter is just as suffocating as physical clutter. A person doesn't have to be cruel to be unhealthy for you. Even subtle disrespect, chronic negativity, passive aggression, or constant one-sidedness can slowly chip away at your joy and self-esteem. And here's something many women need to hear clearly. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's sacred. When you begin choosing yourself, your energy, your values, your mental clarity, you begin living with intention. You no longer bend to keep the peace. You create peace and invite others to meet you there. Or not. That might look like spending less time with someone who talks over you, responding slower to the friend who always brings drama, or letting go entirely of the connection that only brings weight, not warmth. Distance doesn't mean bitterness. Boundaries don't mean cruelty. They mean you're finally choosing to be responsible for your own emotional environment. You don't owe anyone access to you. And as you move into this next season of life, it's more than okay to say, I wish you well, but I no longer have space for what hurts me. So let me ask you gently, is there someone in your life who leaves you feeling more drained than seen? Have you ever felt guilty for wanting distance from a connection that's no longer healthy? Share your thoughts in the comments. You don't have to name names. Just naming the feeling is a step toward freedom, and you might give another woman permission to do the same. Now take a breath. Imagine opening your closet and seeing only clothes that make you feel beautiful, present, and at peace. Imagine walking through your home and seeing only things that speak to who you are, not who others expected you to be. Imagine starting your morning routine without expired reminders of who you once were, and ending your day without draining conversations echoing in your head. When you release what no longer serves you, you don't just create space. You reclaim energy, clarity, and self-respect. We've talked about clutter in all its forms: closets, cabinets, memories, and relationships. But now I want to hear from you. What's one thing, physical or emotional, that you're finally ready to let go of? It could be a dusty gift you never liked, a belief that no longer fits, or even a habit that's taken more than it's given. Drop it in the comments below. You might be surprised how powerful it feels just to say it out loud, and how many other women you'll inspire by doing so. If this video gave you clarity, if it helped you breathe a little deeper or see your space differently, then let's keep going. And if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, because this is your time. And every woman over 55 deserves a life that's not just full, but free, beautiful, and entirely her own. Thanks for watching.